Good evening, everybody. Go Via or Go Home. Welcome to GVO After Dark. We're going to get started real soon, and I just want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Wow, I've got you. Brian Ferguson, he gets a cookie tonight. And then we've got John and Mike H.O. Trains, Wigwags Workshop. How's it going? Kevin Beverly. John again. And Roger. And Ronald. And Eminem Rails is in the chat. Scott Rails. And John Train at BFGR. How's it going? Hopefully everyone's doing well. Trackside Mike is in the chat. How's it going, Mike? Willow Creek. Everybody's holding it down. Everyone's having a good week. Got lots to talk about tonight. What? He's laughing at me. He's in the back and he's laughing at me. I don't know why. I'm just going to bring him in because...
A-E-I-O-U. Just warming up. A-E-I-O-U. Sometimes Y.
The hippopotamus. How's it going? N-Scale Dystopia. How's it going? Anthony Dodge and the Model Train Outsider. How's it going, Anthony? Mark, how's it going?
Good. Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. And we got Lauren from OVR Trains. How's it going, Lauren? Bringing in that hot freight every single month. And yeah, so tonight we've got quite a few things. I guess we can start, huh? Well, how's your week going? How's your month going? Never mind.
Busy.
Yeah.
The dogs are asleep right now, so.
I was gonna say, how's the new puppy?
Settling in, getting used to the routine.
Hmm.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart, but lots of energy and takes a lot of our time. So.
Yeah, they'll do that. They will do that. Well, this month we've got a mini of the month, so I'm gonna do an unboxing for mini prints. We'll cover the streamer schedules for April. We've got, you know what I'm looking at last month. I was looking at last month's because I write everything down. The page was folded over. That's fine. Those are things I'm still gonna do anyways. We're gonna do some brunch build rebranding. Stay tuned for yeah. And some more stuff coming soon, of course. But yeah, so I mean, like we were talking last month, and basically about how my schedule is kind of changing, and I promised I'd let everybody know what happens because I didn't even know, and it's been quite the roller coaster of emotions. You know, depending on where you work or if you know, of course. Certain places, you know, there's layoffs and whatnot that happens, and no one is ever really safe. You know, it's tough. It's a very tough situation to be in, and you know, I feel bad for the people that do get laid off, and it sucks. You know, I told them don't do it. I got lots of trains to buy, you know, but they don't care. But you know, it happens. For me, unfortunately, didn't happen. So that's good, but my schedule is changing, and it's not going to impact Third Rail Thursday at all, which we were really worried about. So Thursday nights, I'm still going to be able to show up, obviously support Tim and yourself, and hold it down on the second Thursday for me, and then, of course, GVO After Dark. They can't stop us. They can't shut us down, you know. After 6 years, you'd think by now someone would say, you know what, pull the plug. But no, they can't do it. But the Sunday brunch build, that might be a different story. Not necessarily as a pulling the plug situation, because I really enjoy being able to build kits and do some weathering and whatnot every single Sunday. And I love being able to share that, of course, with anybody who's willing to watch. And lots of people, including Trackside Mike, even Mike HO Trains, and even yourself, Mark. A lot of you guys like to jump on, and you'll be working on something, or the group builds as well. I love doing the group builds. Sunday morning is kind of tricky now, though. I might still do a thing every other Sunday, but I think I'm going to end up doing a different night, because I'm moving to days now. So for the last 11 years, I've been working the 4 o'clock to 11:30 shift, roughly. So now I'm going to the morning time. So it's 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. So, the brunch thing doesn't really work.
So now it's more like GVO afternoon delight.
Yeah. If I hold out to like later, I can do the midnight snack build. Something like that. But I wanted to test everybody to see because there's so many different live shows right now. Like you've got Off the Rails Monday, of course, with our Canadian counterparts, Mike and James. Yeah. Their Monday night. Then we got Second Section podcasts. They normally do a live on Tuesdays. Cab Crew Wednesdays. Third Rail Thursdays. Yeah, I'm going to specifically go on the third week, I think, and do it. Nah, I'm just playing. But, that leaves, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, I know, obviously, there's lives that happen Friday night and Sunday night. I was thinking maybe Saturday night. Possibly. Okay. But, just do a weekend Saturday night build, and whoever wants to watch can watch, and whoever, So that's what I'm thinking. But if anybody in the chat, share what you think. What do you guys think? Would you guys watch if it was a Saturday night thing? Would you watch if it was a Sunday night thing? What do you guys think? Because my evenings are now more or less open. So
there's the odd Saturday where I'm sitting on my couch and like nothing's on TV, and I'm like, I wish someone live right now. I'll sometimes text Dave, like, hey Dave, how would you go live right now? It's Saturday night. I'm bored.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, right? And I don't want to be the guy to step on toes, Yeah, I think, when it comes to everything, like, there's a lot of shows that I like to watch depending on, obviously, the night of the week, right? And I don't want to miss on those, So a lot of people in the chat are saying Saturday night, that'd be cool, So quite possibly we can move the Sunday brunch to Saturday night. So, it's an idea.
Yeah, you can always try it.
But we'll see. It's not a for sure thing. I'd like to, feel things out, possibly. Again, I hate to step on toes, but it's it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch me. Or you just watch the replay. But if you're one of those avid viewers who likes to partake in the chat and whatnot and share what you're working on and whatnot, obviously you want to sit in on that, right? But so it's just the schedule's changed, and of course this Sunday is Easter, so happy Easter to everybody who celebrates, of course. But so there won't be a brunch build, and at some point next month, which is right around the corner, of course we're going to be doing as soon as I figure out this whole kit build thing, ITLA, Nick from ITLA is going to join us, and he's going to give us some tips and tricks on how to build some wood kits, which, nice. I think it's long overdue. I really want to do some wood kits. So he's going to give us a whole tutorial thing. I don't know if it's going to be an hour long or 2 hours. I'm not sure yet, but that should happen in April. And then we'll do a group build doing one of the ITLA kits with all the things that we've learned, of course, from Nick. So that'll be quite fun. So obviously, stay tuned for that. So in the normal schedule, as things go, of course, we've got Tim from They Make It Like That. He'll be the first Thursday in the month, which is the 4th, so next week. And then we'll be back here on the 11th for my Third Rail Thursday. And then the 18th. Are you okay with doing the 18th?
I am. It's in my
Cool.
calendar. Good to go.
Neat. And then, of course, we'll be back here April 25th for GVO After Dark. Wednesday, Cab Crew Wednesdays. They're also, doing stuff. There's so many shows, guys. It's impossible to not feel like you're stepping on someone else's toes. And I know that even doing a show on Sunday, there's other shows that just they happen. I think Lee, he does a kit build thing too on Sunday mornings. So it'll open it up a bit more to somebody. Maybe you want to go watch Lee, and you can see what he's building. And I know he has a lot of guests on his show as well. So again, it's an open field. You can't really not do something when somebody else is, unless you're doing like the middle of the day, which I don't really have as an option anyways. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. I feel pretty good about Saturday night, but we'll see. Because if Artie is live from Australia, he's got to start bringing some koala guests on there. Otherwise, I might have to do that. I'll find the koala and he'll be my co-star. But you never know. But I don't know what time he's going live. Like, what time does he normally go live? Like our time. Is it like 8 or is it 7? Because I don't mind going a little bit later.
Anthony,
I would normally. If anybody in the chat knows what time he normally goes live, because Scott says I tried Friday streaming. The lag was terrible. Saturday might be bad for that too. It's tough. You can't win.
Why would the lag be terrible on a certain night? Just because of the volume of people?
Yeah, probably.
Huh.
Mike says Artie goes live at 8. So I'm not opposed at doing a 7 to 8 or a 9 to 11. Because I've got the whole evening off, and I usually do a 2-hour thing. I know that a lot of people say, well, 9 o'clock, I'm done. They hang up the towel. Mark. Just because it's after dark doesn't mean you have to go to bed. No, nothing. Nobody come back.
I got nothing.
I'm just waiting for you to show up to one of these lives with your nightcap on, and you look like you're all ready for bed.
I'm actually in bed right now. I moved the clock into my bedroom.
It's not a clock; it's a headboard. But yeah, that's true. Netflix. When are we getting a Netflix special? I guess we're not special enough, huh?
No,
that's fine.
Not yet.
Tim is lost in the Home Depot paint aisle. Yeah, that sounds like Tim.
I'm surprised to let him in.
Yeah. He seems like the kind of guy who would try out the spray paint before actually buying it. I don't know. Yeah. Like the perfume aisle, but yeah, that definitely seems like a Tim thing. So yeah, I think like a lot of people said Saturday is a good day to possibly do that, and it's definitely something that I will take into consideration. Again, I don't want to step on any toes, but just remember, obviously there's lots of great shows out there every night of the week. It's tough. So, but speaking of shows, the first Wednesday of every month, Mini Prince goes live, and he's always showing off the new stuff, new minis that he's printed and whatnot. With this here, he sends out a box every month, showcasing a lot of the new products. A and B, if you want to get one of these every single month, I believe it's $29.99, and shipping is included, and you get a different assortment of minis. So I did kind of roughly open it a little bit. Didn't want to struggle with it on live stream, so I'm just going to open this up.
You can go big. Go big screen.
Sorry?
Go big screen.
Go big screen.
Make me smaller.
Solo. There we go. Wow. Okay. Okay. So. Oh.
No, it's okay. You know what? It's okay.
I never. Oh, like this?
Yeah.
I guess we can do this. It's fine. It's not. I don't think it's a huge deal. It's, like they can still see. Bernard always does a great job of wrapping. And,
right on time. Look who just showed up.
Who?
Mini Prince.
Mini Prince. Speak of the devil. So I'm just kind of pulling them out as I'm seeing them here, and I see this big round thing. So I'm going to pull this out first, and that's not a mini, but that will keep you from getting what is it called? The wet circle from your beer can.
It's a coaster.
Or in this case, Monster. It is a coaster, yeah.
You're still drinking those things?
What? No, you're not my wife. You can't tell me what to do.
Christopher, we're talking about this.
Yeah, I told you we had a discussion before this. I'm running on empty right now. I know you're running. Do you want one? I'll run one over to you right now.
I tell my students at school, I said, I got this friend who actually drinks those things.
Each one takes like a year off my life, so.
Then they say, sir, how old is he? 18? I said, no.
I'm actually only 16, but I look like 70 because I drink these. That's the magic. So this is cool. This is a little coaster. Is it a coaster or is it a cozy? No, the cozy goes around your drink, right?
Coaster.
Yeah, so coaster. So that's cool. I'm probably going to put this on display. I take things like this and I don't use them the way they're intended. I put them on display or I hang it on the wall. So that's what I'm going to do with that because that's cool.
So are those the new stickers now? No more stickers or coasters?
Well, this month you get a coaster. That's cool though. Like, who do you go to get coasters made? Bernard, where do you get your coasters made? Is there a coaster store that I should know about that I've been missing out on?
Coaster
Oh, that's funny. That's cool though. I like that. Nice. I just put my drink on it. You can't tell, but I did. Sticker Mule. They have coasters? Well, you've been holding out. So what's there's another one here. What the heck is this? This might be along the same lines as because
is that a harmonica?
Of course. You did dumpsters. I didn't paint them green yet, but I've got them here. They're on my list of things to do. But this looks like a compactor. Can you see that?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So, yeah, what happens is I don't know if this is a garbage compactor or a cardboard compactor. Because, well, I guess you can't really tell because you can't put anything in it, but trash compactor. Okay, so Bob says it's a trash compactor, but if it's a cardboard compactor, what would the difference be? And how do you market that? No, that's cool. I like that. This would look really good behind any grocery store, box store, big box store, of course, because they get rid of a lot of stuff and packaging and stuff. That's cool. And then it's a box within a box. So I've got a little box in here too.
Anthony says it's a cardboard compactor, but I'm not sure how he knows that.
See, because Bub said it was a garbage compactor.
Yeah. I say just get 2 of them.
And Mini Print says it's for a loading dock. So it's a loading dock compactor. You put the whole loading dock in there. You don't like your loading dock anymore. You get rid of it. No, I'm just playing. It's good for if you have a garage door that opens up that's a little bit higher. You just put it right off of that. Open the door, throw your stuff away. That's really cool. Bernard, how much do you sell these for individually, just in case anybody... Because that is something that a lot of people should have on their layouts. That's really cool. I think trucks will come and they will lift that up and they will empty it and they'll take it away. That's pretty cool. Okay, I can tell what this is. Because I could read this, but I'm going to guess. I want to see how good I am at guessing what they are. Bernard says they're $14.99. I have a bad habit of rounding things, so it's $15 for one of these. That's really cool. And that's solid too. Like, that's not going anywhere. That's awesome. Could probably fit on the back of a flatbed or something too, because of the design of the bottom. So this here is a trailer. I know it's kind of hard to see because all the little sprue things are in there.
Okay.
But there is a trailer there.
Nice.
And I imagine you can put a boat or jet skis or something on there. That'd be cool. And then there's a little jack there. You can put it right on the back of a pickup truck.
Nice.
Or something with a jack. That's really cool. And then what else do we have here? Oh, I think you might like this. And when I say you might like this, it's because it's dogs. Dogs and fire hydrants. So you get 4 fire hydrants and 2 dogs. And you can only imagine what the dog is doing.
Ah, yes.
But its leg is in the air. And is that a stream or is that a...
Oh, gosh.
No, that's the thing holding up the leg. Okay, no, it wasn't a stream. It's just a dog, and then there's fire hydrants right up there.
Cute.
That's really cool. I wonder what kind of dog that. It looks like a pincher. Pincer. Can't remember. A Doberman.
Pincher?
Pincher? Yeah. Obviously, it's a miniature pincher, right? Making a mess. I know. We got a couple more here. Those, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Focus.
No idea.
No, they look like they could be either moles, mole, or really big hamsters. Hold on, I have to look.
Maybe they're rats for the trash compactor.
No, they're opossums or just possum. Opossum.
I don't know. You're asking really hard questions tonight.
Yeah, sorry. I'm really bad at this. Okay, next one. Let me see what are these? Oh, these are... I know what these are. Are these security cameras? Are they security cameras? Hold on. Checking. Modern security cameras.
So what's the
Again,
theme? What's the theme? Trash compactor, opossums, a trailer, security cameras.
I think I remember seeing it here when Bernard was walking to work. All the things he saw on a walk to work, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Now, why is he seeing opossums on his way to work? That might be a different story, but yeah, I walked by some every day. Oh, sorry, just a loading dock. I guess you could walk by any of these things at any point, except for the opossum. But security cameras, that's perfect for like any building, especially in this day and age. And I'm pretty sure this is Seamus O'Toole, because he looks like a little leprechaun with a pot of gold. Again, it's very hard to see because it's so small, but there's the pot of gold on the side, and there's Seamus.
Yeah. So I'm sure Bernard saw that after his trip to the brewery. He saw Leprechaun with a pot of gold.
And is this an adult-sized leprechaun? Hold on. Where is who's this? Oh, a scan of Barrett that you can position driving last month's amazing scissor lift model. Oh, okay. So this, which I worked on, this is the scissor lift.
Yes, yes.
A bit of painting and a bit of weathering on there.
Good job.
Thank you. It's red. I saw a red one last week, and I'm like, I want to paint it red. So he can go right inside there. That's cool. Just like that. Well, without the backpack. That's cool. Well, thank you, Bernard. That's awesome. I love unboxing these every month, and I love to see what you're coming up with and all the new creations and all the dogs. That's cool. I love the animals. The animals, they always add so much to the scene. And I like the little trailers and stuff too. Cool. And I think I want to add security cameras to my paper mill, just to the entrance area, guard shacks and whatnot.
Yeah.
Spy cam. That'd be cool. Awesome. Awesome. And of course, they also have the last month I had unboxed. It's going to be really hard to see because I've primered it black. Did the black primer on there. I have the doors closed on the front. And then there's a smaller version as well. These are the dumpsters.
Nice.
And they're going to be awesome for my scrapyard, which I've been working on lately. I'm going to show you. It's last Sunday. I had done a lot of work on it, and I think I got pretty far. And I've added the weathering to it. And there's string that'll hold it up. And it even moves, too. Well, you can't really see.
Cool.
I like it. It's
yeah.
Some of the simpler Walther's kits in the I'm trying to do this whole thing where I'm trying to make the paint look like it's coming off and there's metal obviously underneath.
Yeah.
It's it is what it is. Weathering is very tricky, I find, and
it is.
It takes a lot of practice.
Do you spray paint those dumpsters? Do you spray paint them black?
Yeah. I just did I did a black primer. I'm not sure which direction I'm going to go yet. I might do like the green, but also because I want to do somewhat of an AIM facility. Most of their stuff is already black, and then it just has the AIM logo right there, which I don't have. I'd have to somehow get a little white AIM logo printed.
So do those stink? Do those stink like spray paint?
Do they smell like spray paint?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Why?
Because someone gave me something spray painted and it still stinks like spray paint.
It has been over a week since these were sprayed. So, I mean, kind of, but like...
It's not a strong smell, though.
See, here's the thing. With primers, I find they're not as strong as others. And certain colors, I find, like the oxidized red, smells terrible.
Huh.
I don't know what it is. Same thing with silver. Silver smells terrible because it's more of a metallic.
Yeah.
Where the plain black, the matte finish primer, or not primer, primer, there's not really much of a smell to it.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's not terrible, but
yeah, because my training room is not vented at all. There's no ventilation. It's very small.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything gets in there that's spray painted, it just reeks.
Yeah. Certain things. See, even Bernard says oxidized red is the worst. I'd put it up there with like silver is okay, but it's very, very potent. I think. But yeah. So again, I appreciate Mini Prince for sending some of those out. So another thing I wanted to talk about tonight specifically, and I feel like there's been a lot of talk about. Nope, I like this one better.
Yeah, me too.
I like this one better. You like that one? You don't like?
No.
And one of the things that I find that's come up a lot this past month is what is it called?
Burnout.
And I'm not talking about Mark in an empty parking lot in a Honda Civic doing donuts. Burnout. No, I'm talking about getting tired, just losing that ambition, losing the where does it go? Why does it happen?
Yeah.
Does it ever happen to you, Mark?
Yeah, of course, it's happened to me. Of course.
Do you think it's the kind of thing that it affects everybody at one point or another?
I think so, and probably different degrees of it. We all have our own definitions of burnout, but yeah, I think everyone experiences and everyone deals with it differently. There's ways to prevent it, I guess, too. I know, like for teaching, a lot of teachers, it's the same courses, same classroom year after year, and it's not really burnout, but you get sick of. It's like Groundhog Day. We call it Groundhog Day. It's like the same thing. The kids are different, but the kids aren't really different. It's different names. It's the same thing, same routine, day after day. About 5-6 years, so we change it up to avoid that burnout. And some change schools, some just change courses, some take courses to teach other things, different subjects, kind of change it up. And so I noticed in the community, the railroad community, some people will just say, "Okay, I'm tired of this layout. I'm going to tear it down, build something else, just do something new, change it up."
Mm-hmm.
You get that in there, like teaching. Like for myself, I'm going to do something new. I have that excited energy. I'm more fresh. I notice when people are starting a new layout, like if you follow Jason, the rail fan man, he sounds like his like third, fourth layout in the last 3 or 4 years, and he's excited about it. Like he's pumped. He's like, check it out, I'm starting new, and that's why
he's also very nice. I met him at Springfield,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
and Rail Fan Lady as well. Very nice people. Very nice.
Yeah. Well, he's a cat guy, so I'm guessing you there's a handshake and everything you guys did.
There was handshakes. We swapped stickers and
Yeah.
But no, with burnout, it's I think that it's almost one of those things where it's inevitable at some point. If you're going too hard on something, it's gonna fizzle out, and you have to almost step back and pace yourself at what you're doing. You don't want to rush into anything, and of course, sometimes taking a step back and rethinking everything, or taking a different approach, is good for you. It's good to. I mean, I get the same thing playing video games as well. It happens way too often where you're trying to do something, and it might seem like the easiest thing because you've done it 100 times already. But for some reason, you keep failing at it, or you're dying in the video game. I'll put it down. I'll leave it for a week. I'll go back and I'll do it first try. And I'm like, what was my issue? What was this part of me that was not able to do this before?
You just say this might be controversial, but
Same thing happens with model railroading. If you're trying, I think that I worked on even this. I've picked it up and I've painted it 3 times at least, and now it's actually at a point where I'm actually happy with it because I've worked on it. I wasn't happy with it, and I walked away from it, and I left it for. I mean, I've had it for probably 3-4 months, 5 months maybe, but I'll come back every so often and I'll look at it and I'll say, well, okay, let me take another crack at this.
Yeah.
And you're going to do that until you're happy with it, which is fine. And yeah, Bernard's right. It's also seasonal as well. A lot of people say, it's summer now. I put down all my train stuff and I'll pick this back up in the fall, which is okay too. But it's almost become this thing where, it almost has a negative aspect behind it because it just means, you went too hard on it and now you don't want to do it anymore. Or you're sick of looking at it. It doesn't have to be that way. I think it could just be, maybe you're overthinking things. Maybe that's all it is. But it just happens. It happens to everybody. It probably happens to, some of the best model railroaders out there.
Yeah.
It affects all of us.
And then when you throw YouTube on top of it, like a lot of us, we put all this pressure on ourselves to film, put out weekly videos, have these weekly live shows, monthly live shows. And then it just stops being a hobby, it becomes a job, and then kind of get burnt out from just that. Whereas, like, I know some people who quit YouTube because it became too much, and now it's just a hobby. And you hear back from them like, oh, I'm having so much fun, just a hobby. Because it's a lot of work. I sometimes don't do something because I got to set up the camera, and I got to film it, and I got to do a certain way so my hands will get in the way. And I got to think of a script while I'm doing this, and then I got to write a script, and then it's a lot of work. Whereas if you're just doing the hobby, there's no audience, it might be a little more joyful. I don't know many model railroaders who don't have YouTube channels. Everyone I know in the hobby has a YouTube channel pretty much. So there's that too. And like you said about pacing yourself, making goals, if you set high goals like, oh, this month I'm going to do this, and you don't, you kind of, you might get a little, I don't want to say depressed, but a little down, like, oh, didn't meet my goal. And then you just stop, like, well, I can't do it. So setting goals, teacher talk, setting goals and taking breaks. Like you said, pace yourself. I tell my students all the time, don't wait till the last minute because it's going to be so overwhelming to try and do 5 assignments in one night. As you said, pace yourself, do it piecemeal, part by part. So
I wonder if I can, does it do that? So Tim says, most days I'm super amped to go to the garage until I get home. And then I just want to sit on the couch and relax after a long day.
I'm the same way, Tim. Same way. I'm at work, and I'm at work, so I'm energized, and I'm talking to students, and I'm up, and I'm like, oh, when I get home, I'm doing this, I'm going to film this, I'm going to run this. As soon as I walk in the door, sit on the couch, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm too tired. I'm done. And the dogs come, and forget it. And I'll do it, and I'll just say oh, I'll do it this summer when I have it off. And then summer comes, oh, I'll do it next summer.
And then Anthony's saying, if you just focus on building, when do you guys get to the point that you enjoy just running trains?
You want to go first?
For me, it was one of those things where you couldn't run trains really until you had a full loop. And for me, that took 2 years. And the one thing that worried me about finishing even just my first loop was when I have this loop and I'm able to run trains again, nothing else is going to get done. Scenery's not going to get done. Building's not going to get done. I'm just going to be so focused on running trains that, that's it, But I've pushed myself, and I think that doing the lives and doing the kit builds actually helps me to remain focused on seeing the bigger picture with the layout. Yes, obviously the main thing is to run the trains, but also I want to lay the land. I want to put the sidings in. I want to put trees, and I want to bring everything to that next level. And I still want to be able to enjoy it and still run the trains. But of course, you have to switch it up every so often.
Okay, question for you. Do you ever run trains by yourself? For a good length of time?
Yeah.
And not film it?
And not film it. Yeah, not do nothing. I'm guilty of I'll rail fan my own layout. Because Dave talks about it all the time. Oh, dude, I was running trains the other day. It was so sick. And he sounds like that. It's a terrible impression, I know, but he rail fans his layout, and I think a lot of people are guilty of doing that because they love how, let's say, their new train looks, or they love how a whole scene looks, and they want to put the train going through it, and it's okay. It's totally normal, and I like running trains, just normally running trains, but if I've completed something recently, or if I'm running a new train around the layout, let's say to break it in or test things out, I'll take some pictures, for the gram, for the Instagram. I'll try to show my wife as if she'd understand what I'm doing. Oh yeah, okay, cool,
Yeah,
but
good for you, honey. Good for you.
Gold star, right? But I'll run trains, and it's mostly to try out new things, or if I've laid some track and I want to test, I'll test a whole area and whatnot. It's normal. What about you? Do you get in there and run trains?
I don't. I like the company. I enjoy the live shows. It's like people are with me, and I like having people over. If I'm running trains, it's because I'm filming something. I don't really run operations by myself. I think it's
Do you have a whole system set up yet where you could like how Dave writes his little book of dispatching and all that, his dispatcher's manual?
I set up a very, very small operations because I did have Dave over, He's like the first person to come over and actually like legit operate trains on my layout. So I did have something for him, and that was fun. But I would never do it by myself. Like I do operations if I'm setting up for a video. Like I don't kind of cheat and take cars up and put them over here. I will kind of back things up and move things around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of fun. There's a bit of a purpose to it, but I just don't say to myself, I'm going to go to the train room, run some trains today.
Let's see.
I might have
Sparky.
it was better set up, but right now I really enjoy doing it with people.
I enjoy, like, I try to set up times, of course, like for you to come over. Bubs will come by. It's never really to run an operation, although like I know every time you come over, you're like, okay, so I'm gonna take these cars, I'm gonna move them over there, I'm gonna take some more cars and put them over there, like, so you actually feel like you're doing stuff. But sometimes it's fun just to put on a train and hear that click clack and let her go.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I don't think anyone's weird doing that. I just don't do it.
Are you calling me weird?
No, that's what I'm saying. You're not weird.
Oh, okay. Sparky's saying, what I hate seeing is when modelers get burnout. It lasts a bit and they sell everything off, then later regret that and start over. Money has a bit to do with it, but it's a very real thing. Everybody has a different version of burnout, because there's burnout where you work on a layout to an extent and then you're like, nah, I'm going N scale, which is like, sorry, I know that Denny's watching, so but no, there, you change scales, you sell everything off. You know what? I don't have enough room for HO. I'm gonna go N scale. You sell everything off. You get frustrated, and then
your friends tease you. Yeah.
Yeah. But then there's the other side of it where it's just regular life burns you out. Like you said, you go to work, you work all day long. You're like, oh, I can't wait to get home and do this and that to the layout. You get home and you're just like, no, curl up with your animals and loved ones, and then that's it.
Yeah.
The layout doesn't get touched.
Yeah,
it's a very real thing. John says that podcasts help a lot, and I feel like with podcasts, it's kind of like that constant voice in your ear still saying, oh, model trains, and then you're like, yeah, and then you hear something like, oh, did you know that the GP9s are on their way? And then you're like, I'm excited again. GP9s. All right. Yeah. Mark's getting GP9s. You want the GP9s. Oh, you want all the GP9s. Come on.
Stop.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, by the way, has the charger flame burnt out or what? What about the what's it called? The P42. Do you still have that? Yeah. New train. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Sure. I like to cut them all. Gotta catch them all.
They're not Pokemon. Come on. But like, when it's almost like it's like a hype. The hype train. When you hop aboard the hype train, you're like, I got it. But how long does that last? Because in some cases that it's very temporary for some people, and it's like
next month, if something else comes out.
That's right, and then we forget about the Chargers and P42s, and unless it's another P42 and another Charger.
Yeah, marketing, baby, marketing.
That's right.
Anthony Dodge put out a good video recently and talked about that one, like a vlog style video, and talked about the marketing and stuff, and it's all business, and they do a good job.
That's true. Modeler burnout, I see, comes from what AK said trees of doing a channel or what I post about a lot of channels and negative. See, the negative comments, I think in a sense you have to take the good with the bad because you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
And if I had $1 for every time someone left a negative comment on my video, I wouldn't need to put out videos because I'd be rolling in it, you know? And I think that it's very humbling when somebody says you're wrong because it's like it makes you step back and say, okay, well, where did I go wrong? And then it makes you think about things or it makes you want to do better. And I think that when we're all doing the videos and we're all taking the time to, put something together to put out there for the general public to view, you're going to get a little bit of A and a little bit of B, but it does happen. Because I did watch Anthony's video and I thought it was really, really well said. And even when you're commenting on a video, when you're on the other side of the keyboard, you got to be careful as well because you don't get the same tone as like if I'm talking like this compared to where if I'm typing it out. So sometimes it could be misunderstood as more negative than positive for that very reason.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So it's very hard to decipher sometimes what's good, what's bad. My favorite though is, of course, when you say something in a video or say, this is what I'm going to do. And then someone in the comments says, you know what you should do? and I'm like, you know what you should do? You should go back and watch the rest of the video because I totally said that. It happens. It totally happens. You watch 1/4 of the video and then you have to comment on it and say, oh, this is what you should do.
Yeah.
But again, it happens. Take the good with the bad and, just do it for you. That's when I started doing videos. I was making videos for me and I was sharing my love of the hobby with everyone else. And I never expected people to even watch. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was crazy when I had 100 subscribers. I was like, that's crazy. 100 people? That was a lot to me. It's like when you give a child $2 and they're like, I'm so rich right now. It's so fun, and just being able to like meet other like-minded individuals who share the same passion. It's so cool. And, that trumps any negative comment that anyone could ever leave because I get personal emails to me and I know that some other guys have as well. And when people take the time to send you a personal email telling you how much they appreciate what you're doing and how they look forward to seeing your videos, maybe they're going through a tough time, maybe they're having burnout, and then they find solace in watching your creations and what you're doing. And it's honestly, it's very humbling and it fills you up with so much joy. And it's like, see, that's why I do this. That's why I love sharing the hobby. That's why I love talking about it. It's what you do, it's for everybody who watches,
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Well, for me, I know there's very few in my category, but YouTube and the Mile Railroad, my layout is hand in hand. If YouTube shut down tomorrow, there's a good chance I'd probably stop doing the railroading, or at least put it aside for a long time. Because
it'd be sad if people did that. Like you hope that they like the hobby so much that it's less about the fame and more about the.
Yeah, but I don't like to do it for myself though. I like to share with people.
Really?
And you're very nice. You say, "Oh, honey, that's good." But I have no one like there's. I'm seriously. I was tempted to put a flyer in the apartment, like in the lobby, saying, "Hey, do you like trains? Come to my apartment. We can run some trains together." Just like because my brothers are too busy. They don't want to do that. My kids are,
No, but you like running trains. That's just it. But if there was no more YouTube, if you were going to do what you're doing right now with Chris, or you weren't on YouTube, But you have friends that you just did it as a hobby and ran trains. That'd be fine.
Chris is not going to be my friend if YouTube shuts down. Chris and I are YouTube friends. If there's no YouTube, we're not going to be friends anymore.
Well, see, that's a problem right there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because I don't text you outside of YouTube.
There's a contract that I signed. Dave, Chris, and Tim are my friends because of YouTube. Yeah.
It's the YouTube clause. if they shut this thing down, I'm shutting our thing down.
When my phone rings, it says YouTube Chris.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm changing your name to YouTube Mark. I can't do YouTube John though because there's so many Johns. I know you, Mark.
Yeah.
I can't do YouTube Dave because I know like 5 Daves and I know 20 Johns, so it doesn't work that way. But
you know me for how long? You know, this is season 6 of GVO, and you've been to my house once, my old house.
You got to get more cats, man. What do I have to? I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you.
It's just life is busy. It's not, like
life is very busy.
Dave's been here once. Now, I've been to your place a couple times and Dave's place a couple times, but
you're clearly the better friend.
Anyway, clearly. Yeah. I gotta invite them over more. I got a small place too. It's not really conducive to. Like Dave came over and I stood outside the train room while he was inside operating because it gets hot in there and it's a little small. So if the 3 of us were in there, total chaos. Anyway.
Let's see. Floyd says, I found that since I've been watching all you guys, it managed to give me the incentive to get back down there to do it again. And you know what? Sometimes that's all it takes. I still remember before even my first layout, and I still get tons of grief from Dave about my first layout. Because he came to my garage because it was in my garage at that point where I lived because there really was no space inside the house. The house didn't have a basement; it had blast rock. That was my basement. The thing that really got me going was YouTube, and it was watching JLW whatever thing. And he was doing the whole how to build a model railroad HO scale start to finish.
Yeah.
And that's when he had the giant loop, the long oval. It didn't look like a basement. It looked like a back room of a house, or a den of some sort. But watching that made me want to, do this and then start sharing as well. Cause I just thought, okay, there's a culture for it, I guess. And, then I started getting newer products. I think like the LRC locomotive was one of the first. And I think there was an Intermountain SD40. And I'm just like, I don't know too much, and I don't pretend like I know everything, but I'm going to talk about what I do know. And I'm going to talk about my likes and dislikes. And, this is what it's developed into. Everybody's going to take a different path, of course, but building layouts and all that, it's fun.
Yeah, going to train shows and seeing. Sorry, I just read James' comment, threw me off. M&M Rails is my best friend. Oh, thanks, James. Happy Easter, pal. But yeah, seeing layouts on YouTube, seeing on train shows, it is inspiring, and you want to try new things and get back in the hobby. So it's very nice.
Talk about inspiring. I was watching. Well, every time I see Denny post a video, it's like, yeah, I'll leave a comment, but then I message him, I private message him, and I'm like, dude, so sick. I'm like, how?
Crazy.
Because he's like, I have to live vicariously through him because I don't have enough space to do a greater Toronto area layout. But because he's blessed with tolerating N scale, all the more to him. But he can fit like a Toronto scene in his
Yeah,
basement, and I have to live through him to be able to enjoy that, because I'd love that, but
yeah.
I don't have the space for it. So Mini Prince says, going to a show, conversation, or rail fanning is a great way to get out of burnout. Need to change it up.
Yeah, you gotta change it up. Keep it fresh.
And I think a big part of that too, I mean, everybody's going to have, again, a different way to look at that. For me, my version of that, and the reason why I've got a lot done on my layout, because I do get asked a lot, how did you get so much done in such a small amount of time? Like, it's because I'll work on something until I either get tired of it, or if I can't go any further, and then I go to like the other side of the layout, and then all of a sudden I'm working on a totally new project, or I will work on a kit, and if I get stuck, just like something like this, I'll go work on 5 other kits, and then I'll come back to this one much later. There's always something to do. Go rail fanning, talk to your friends about trains. It's never ending.
Yeah. I want to go back to a question that Stephen from Wigwag Workshop posed. He said, I can't find it, but what's worse, burnout or FOMO, fear of missing out?
Oof. Burnout is much worse.
Burnout's
I
worse.
think. Yeah.
Now with YouTube and social media, there's almost no such thing as FOMO, fear of missing out. We don't get to miss out. I didn't miss out on the train show in Amherst. I got the best seat in the house right from my couch.
See, I had total like 110% missing out, and like last year, not this year, as in 2024, but 2023, when all the guys were down in Springfield, and I'm here working, and I'm like, I don't want to work. I was about ready to quit and run my butt down to Springfield, because I was like, I gotta go to this thing. And I went this year because I'm like, there's no way that I'm gonna let that happen again. And it did not disappoint at all. But of course, I got to hang out with Trackside Mike, so that in any situation, that's a win-win right there.
And you see, James didn't go, so I was like, well, if James not going, I'm not going.
James was comfortable with not going. I don't know how he could be comfortable with not going, but it's James, so I don't know. But let's see. Then we got.
But I feel like with FOMO, I fear missing out on buying trains, because like we talked about before, like if you don't get a train right away, they sell out and then you miss out. I had that fear.
Yeah.
That's why I bit the bullet and bought the charger, because I just knew, I was like, I had that fear of, if I don't buy it now, I'm going to miss out, and then I'll never have one, and I want one because I'm a collector and it's via, and so I have that fear.
That, and when you look at it, the first thing I think of is, who else will do this? And if it's not a clear, well, so-and-so could do this, then I don't worry about it. So with Bachman doing the charger, I'm like, no one else is going to do this. Yeah. I could list on one hand, other companies that I would have preferred to do it.
Well, of course, yeah.
But yeah, it happens. It happens.
Yeah, it's tough.
So Ronald says, I'm retired and working on my layout in the afternoon, but some days it will take me a push to go on it. Well, yeah, I mean, like, again, that's life. Life will run its toll, things happen in your day-to-day life. I mean, I had to step away from my layout back in October, and that carried me right through to November. And then December, I started to get back to the layout, but I still wasn't 100%. now I can come back and I can work. But it was, life happens and it's okay. There's a really old saying, which is that, if you have to force it, it's not a fart, So, don't force it.
Yeah. Exactly. That's true.
Everyone's really, really getting into the conversation and talking about, what they do as far as getting through the burnout. Hey, James, how's it going?
Yeah. John says diversify, do different hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm collecting dogs. That's my hobby.
Did you say collecting dogs?
Yeah, we have 2 right now. What's one more?
Yes.
I'm liking Wigwag's smoker collection too. Maybe I'll buy some smokers, some barbecues.
Where are you going to put them? Can't smoke it inside.
I know a guy who has a house.
I would end up smoking like everything. What are you going to have for breakfast? I think I'm going to, have some toast. I'm going to smoke the toast.
Exactly.
Bacon and eggs. Going to smoke the bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a friend that has an industrial-sized smoker because he has a butcher shop and whatnot. And this thing, you could literally put a person in there. That's how big it is. Just in case you've ever, wanted to smoke a person. But that'd be weird. I have a wife who has a strong opinion on me changing scales or anything else. I think it's one of those things where, when they're so accustomed to seeing you with, one thing, that when you flip the script and you do something completely different, they're gonna be like, what's this now? Is this a different hobby? Is this are you gonna have another layout, or are you just gonna have the one?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Tim says the existential crisis that everyone had before they finally realized that N scale is what you need. Yeah, see, I went through that.
Damn.
And then I went back to HO. That's. Did you ever have a scary N scale phase, Mark?
Nope. I thought about it for 1/87th of a second.
Yeah.
It's like, should I do it? I got a smaller train room. Nope.
I think do you remember those really old, cheesy, for that they would try to warn you about the dangers of drugs and all that?
Yeah.
We should do a cheesy remake, but warn you of the dangers of N scale and switching to N scale. Poor Timmy. He didn't realize what he was getting into. Dun, dun, dun. And then N scale.
I like it. I like it.
We'll come up with something. We'll workshop that, and then
Most people experiment with different scales in college. Here went again.
Oh man. Thank you everybody for joining tonight. I know that there's people that are coming in at all sorts of times here, but yeah, we're talking about burnout because it happens. It happens to the best of us and the worst of us. But we've got Split Rock. He says, so Chris means when someone says you're the prettiest ugly girl at the dance, it might be a compliment. Well, probably. I don't know. It's one of those things where like when somebody says, "Oh, you know, I like your layout," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine." You know, it's sometimes I have a hard time taking a compliment, and I saw this one video where uh, they were having a seminar on, you know, being grateful and stuff like that, and the one guy gave a guy in the audience a compliment, and the guy in the audience, he was just like, "Yeah," and he's like, "See, like he was so quick to dismiss the compliment that he literally threw it away." And then he tried it again and he said, "You're a really good person." And the guy went, you know, like that. And it's like, well, see, that's part of taking a compliment, you know, is holding on to it because it's so somebody's taking the time to say something nice to you. But yeah, that's beyond this, but still.
That was deep.
You're right. TikTok isn't totally terrible. They're spying on me. Wigwag thinks you should make it like that, of course. But Tim, I thought you couldn't join us. He's been hanging out most of the night, but he doesn't want to join us. That's fine, Tim. I totally forgot what your email was. I was going to send you a link, and I ran out of time, and I'm like, I can't remember his darn email. And then I'm like, well, I think he's probably busy anyways.
Don't you have 25 of his cards?
What cards? Oh, yeah, but I don't think it. You know, it's his personal. I don't think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not they make it like that or. Yeah.
Yeah, he has his graffiti email, and his weathered email, and his N scale email, and his personal email, work email. Yeah. That's right.
Dang, Tim, less is more. Splurock says, I made a video of all the craziest comments I have received. Most involved questions about the. Oh, yeah, because of it's
Guilty.
easier to take out the loads.
Guilty.
Yeah. Were you one of those people? Shame on you.
I was curious. No one else has balls in their drains.
I guess.
Because I am very curious about operations too. So I knew it had something to do with operations. I was just curious how it worked.
I don't think we have any cars that we could do that with technically. So that I understand the question because we've never really experimented with stuff like that. So
yeah.
Anthony says, I can say thanks to you guys. The hobby is sorry, I'm blind and it's very small. The hobby is maintaining, and we forget model railroad, our art, your creativity, how you get the burn out of your expression. I probably read that wrong. Your creativity. How do you get burnt out of your expression?
I guess he's saying that, you know, we're artists. So how do you get burnt out from doing art? I think that's what he's asking.
My burnout comes from everyday life. Like, you know, not my wife, but like family, you know, with kids and work. Just sometimes it's a lot. There's anybody who's had kids knows that, you know, it take a toll on you. And, you know, sometimes the hobby is like the escape and you go to that to recover. And that's how I manage sometimes. By the way, shout out to my son who's turning 11 on Sunday, which is also Easter.
Nice.
So happy birthday, Landon. Who sometimes watches. He watches when, you know, I'm not around. But yeah. So how do you get out of burnout? What do you do?
Part of it is writer's block. I'm trying to think of an idea for a video because again they go hand in hand. So this is why the whole roster battle, shameless plug.
How's that going, by the way? That's going to be the part B of that question. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, just something new and exciting, and get the community involved and something fresh, changing up, something new. Again, that whole series got me running 16 locomotives. Like, it forced me to run locomotives around my layout and run trains. So it feels pretty good. Yeah.
Where are we at with that?
I still have to film. Where are we at? I still have to film 4 trains. There's 8 left, and I did the first 4, and I got to do the next 4. So I'm really excited for the VIA showdown, the LRC versus the Kool-Aid train. That's going to be exciting to see the results for that one.
Are you glad that you limited yourself to a certain amount of trains?
Yeah.
This year, anyways?
This year, yeah. Next year, I'm going to try to go big. Like you always say, go big or go home.
I do say that.
We'll see how it goes. I might push to the summer, though, just because it's tough doing work and filming, but we'll see. What the heck? What's the worst that's gonna happen? I get a negative comment. Usually negative comments come from people who never heard them before. Like Rusty 123 leaves a negative comment like, "Who are you? I don't know you." Whatever. But if you or hey, there's Fred. If you or Fred or Robin left the negative comment, I'm like, oh, okay. I gotta rethink what I just posted. But everyone's fairly nice in the community, and if you guys didn't like it, you wouldn't say anything negative. Just say, hey, good video. That'd be it. So negative comments are just from like trolls or people who don't know us. So they hit a random video and they see like, what's this guy talking about no dogs in a train room, or this guy's being a goof. They don't know the whole story. Like, go back and catch up, man. So negative comments, delete. Trying to think about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Anthony's saying you can expect negative comments. Some are deserved, like my singing.
No.
There's nothing wrong with your singing, Anthony. Yeah.
He's a brave man.
Honestly, it's you're doing something that some wouldn't bother to do because maybe they don't have the gumption. Can we call it gumption? Because
let's call it that. Yeah.
Okay, and your the way you structure everything and you take the time to put something together, it should come across as more appreciated than where people will just leave you a negative comment. You're doing people a favor at that point. No one's gonna ever write the creator of Friends and say, you wasted my time. That was a waste of how many years, 10 years or whatever that Friends was on the air. No, like you're entertaining people. They should be saying thank you.
Exactly.
It happens.
Exactly.
And James is absolutely right. Just like what you said, just delete it and move on, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes though, certain comments, I'm gonna say it because it has happened. Someone will make a comment, and it does stick with me, and it's almost like in the back of my mind, and it'll ruin my day.
I know, me too. I'm full of crap. Some negative comments, they like, oh, okay, you hit a nerve on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because part of me thinks maybe that one person is speaking for a whole bunch of people who didn't want to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, maybe my videos are too silly. Maybe I should tone it down a little bit.
I think that when you have generic videos, and I call mine generic, they're all generic videos, right? I don't try to cater to one specific group, except for the fact that it's normally model railroaders that watch, right? The people who play with model trains. And yes, we do play with them sometimes. But if I try to be funny, people would say, well, I like it a bit more serious. And if I'm too serious, people will be like, whoa, lighten up, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like, like you're just making a video. It's like, it doesn't have to always be serious. It doesn't always have to be hilarious. It's just, it is what it is. You're talking about a product. You're talking about how do I do this? How do I do that?
Yeah.
You can't please everybody.
I know.
But you should still be happy. You're usually pretty happy with the content that you put out, right?
Yeah.
You put all that time and effort towards it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to see Bernard's layout. I've seen it on video, but I haven't seen it in person.
Oh.
Since they were in the 70s, they've been up by one. Just one, but.
Well, there we go. I think we solved all the problems tonight.
You get one topic at a time. John says that he got into buying and selling model trains. Train shows are great. We talked to all kinds of people, from beginners to guys like you.
Hey, no.
Us.
No.
Yeah.
I've actually met quite a few people at train shows, besides a lot of you guys that watch. I think the first time I met Dave, we met, and then we went to a train show together, just because of where he's located and where I'm located and where the train show was located. So, and that was the first time I met him in person. So that was neat too.
Yeah.
I find having a YouTube helps motivate to finish projects when I'm not in the mood. I'm not sure I'd be doing much of any hobby if not for the communities.
Yeah, it's a big help.
The community is great. I think that I get a lot of inspiration from a lot of the people, I watch on a daily basis. I like to see what everybody's doing. I like to see what everybody's working on. And of course, there's a lot of people that get new trains and they show off those new trains. I like to know what's good, what everybody likes and whatnot. It inspires me to go out and buy more stuff.
Yeah.
Or it prevents me from wasting money on certain things and whatnot as well.
Yeah, that's a big help. Big help.
I mean, even if, and I know it's come up in the past, and I know you mentioned it too, like if YouTube was to go away. I know some people where their accounts got hacked, and it's like, well, do you start again after that? Do you start from zero?
Yeah, it's tough.
I think part of me doesn't know another way. You know what I mean? I know nothing outside these four walls. So I'd have as many accounts as I have layouts. So, channel number 2. Let's try this again. Hopefully I don't get hacked this time.
Yeah.
And then, just kind of go from there. I don't know. It is what it is. When you like doing something like the whole model train thing, and then you do it for so long, it becomes a part of your everyday routine at that point.
I know. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was so far behind in the chat. I think
you are.
I can barely keep up. Everybody's been really cool and sharing their inputs and everything on, different aspects of the hobby and what keeps them motivated and what they like watching and whatnot. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. I came to YouTube to make some friends. Mission accomplished. Anything else is extra.
Yeah.
And I agree. I don't think that you'll find a nicer group of people that are all like-minded individuals that really, when it really comes down to it, see, the negative comments usually come from people that you will never probably hear from ever again anyways.
That's what I'm saying. They're not part of the community.
No. And, you know, the Anthonys and the Robins and the Floyds and the mini prints of the, you know, of the community. These are the people that, you know, you come to every week to see and talk to. And when you post a video, you know that they're going to watch it, and you know that they're going to share something just as fun, you know. It's awesome. It's a great community. I think that without a community like this, it wouldn't be as strong as it was, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing their part, sharing, and it's great.
Yeah.
But this is why we have our, you know, monthly, what do they call it, like therapy sessions, you know, to get it all out and, you know, press reset yet once again, and then go back at it next month and do it all over again. You know what I mean? But I'm really excited to be a part of something like this and to be able to share with you guys. And I'm glad I've got great friends with me along the way. He's blushing. He's gonna be like, "Shut up, Chris." Yeah. My hand went right through the wall. Yeah. Any thoughts, Mark?
Yeah, the best one.
On what?
Just anything from what we've talked about, you know, just kind of rounding things off, kind of deal.
Well, there are things you can do to avoid burnout. Again, take breaks, set some, as we were talking, teaching school, smart goals, you know, keep them small and measurable and reasonable. Change it up. Talk to other people if you get frustrated. And like, you know, Sparky mentioned too, like, if you experience burnout, just don't quit altogether. Just take a break, chill for a bit, you know, do something else. Don't sell all your stuff and your YouTube channel. I think that's a bit rash, but yeah. Take a break. It's okay.
I can't even imagine, like, just turning everything off, like hitting that cancel or delete button, and it's like chapter closed, but it's like ... or maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't imagine. Like, what would I'd have so much more time for activities, but I don't know what those activities would be. Probably thinking of more train stuff. I don't know. But you know, yeah, with burnout, it does happen. Prepare yourself for it, because it will happen to you. And you know, just know that there's a whole bunch of like-minded individuals that go through it too. You're not alone. You're not alone, and you're not the only one. But just make sure you get back on that horse, more or less, and don't quit. Just you know, keep moving forward, and
Yeah.
you'll be all right.
Hey, what's this? Trackside Mike says he's off for a month. What does that mean? I'll be off for a month. Gonna miss everyone.
He's working nights, so unfortunately he will probably be really busy. So you might not see too much of him. That's going to be his April. Yeah, work, right? You know, the one thing that's constant is that no matter how burnt out you get from work, you still have to go.
Yeah.
It sucks, but
yeah.
It happens. But just to kind of round things off for the evening. First off, obviously, I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight, hanging out, talking trains, and obviously, the whole burnout thing. We've got Tim from the Make It Like That. He'll be up next Thursday because he's going to be the first one of the month of April. And again, there's no brunch build this weekend, and I'll give you a bit more of a heads up as far as the ITLA demo. We'll call it a demo, I guess. I don't know what I'm calling it yet, but we'll have Nick from ITLA on, and we're gonna obviously do more as far as the group builds, and we'll nail that time down at some point. We'll figure that out. I'm just trying to adjust to the new schedule, and we'll get back to building kits in no time. But until then, M&M Rails, as always, it's a pleasure hanging out with you, and
Always.
good talking.
Good chat.
We will see you guys next month. Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy. Have a good long weekend.
We'll see you next month when you have dog number 3.
Yeah.
Listen,
Hi, Laura.
hey,
Her.
respect your elders.
I heard something about cookies.
I don't know. You know what? I am amazed that you guys think those cookies were like just the best thing ever. I think it's like Mike always talks about it. Like I created this like
We're still live, by the way.
condom blur thing, you know?
They are amazing. All right, everybody.
Love
You have yourselves a great night. We'll see you next week.
yous.
Did you say bye, kids?
I said love yous.
Oh.